What's up, Geeks? Minibots here for another video about designing Pathfinder characters for Pathfinder 2E for you fellow Pathfinders and adventurers and wannabe heroes. So first of all, please don't mind the noise in the background. My lovely wife is cooking some chicken with something else, so you'll see you'll hear something in the back. I apologize for that, but the show must go on. So last time we designed a hobgoblin rogue, but more specifically an intimidator specialist. And I've rolled recently D&D 5e characters for a campaign that I will play as a player. The Pathfinder, I'm the DM, and Dungeons and Dragons, I am a player. And I found that one of the big differences is that skills really matter in Pathfinder 2e, and you can do cool stuff in straight out of the gate as level 1. So my players were really happy with those new mechanics. So we're gonna do the same thing where we're gonna start backwards. So I'm not gonna go A, B, C. I'm actually gonna go S, C, B, A. So I'm gonna start with skills. And here's a character I made for my player. I find that as a DM, if you have new guys or girls in your adventuring group, and the time is of the essence, and one of the complaints is that they don't have enough time or they don't know what to play, you can go ahead and make a character for them. Don't even ask them what they want to do. Well, you know what is lacking in the group and the world that you're building, so you might be the best one position to make a character for them. So I ended up making a rogue, human rogue, and medicine specialist because they didn't have a healer, and healing potions are a bit rare and kind of expensive, especially for guys who are just starting. In the group we have a barbarian and a ranger and now a druid, so the good berries and that stuff. But before that, the medicine specialist was the de facto healer. So let's take a look at that. I'm not going to make another rogue because the last video was a rogue and I want to explore with you guys a bit what Pathfinder has to offer. But let's take a look first. We'll start with the medicine, take a look at the skill. You can patch up wounds and help people recover from diseases and poisons. Even if you're untrained in medicine, you can use it to recall knowledge. Okay, untrained action, administer first aid. 2 actions if you do it in combat. And you need the healer's tools. You perform first aid on an adjacent creature that is dying or bleeding. If a creature is both dying and bleeding, choose which ailment you're trying to treat before you roll. We didn't check that because last game, the barbarian dwarf was bleeding and dying. Choose which ailment. Okay, you can administer first aid again to attempt to remedy the other effect. Stabilize. Attempt a medicine check on a creature that has 0 hit points and the dying condition. The DC is equal to 5 plus that creature's recovery roll DC. Typically 15 plus its dying value. So if it's dying 1, then the DC is going to be 16. If it has been, the creature or your friend has been dying for 3 turns, the next turn he's dead. That means the dying 3 is his condition. So the DC will be 5 plus the creature's recovery roll DC. So I don't understand that part, but we'll say it's 15 plus 3, so you have to roll over 18. That's kind of intense. Stop bleeding. Attempt a medicine check on a creature that is taking persistent bleed damage, giving them a chance to make another flat check to remove the persistent damage. The DC is usually the DC of the effect that caused the bleed. Hard to understand also. Like I said, I'm new to the rules because in the game he was fighting an orc rogue who dealt critical hit sneak damage that caused bleed. So I don't know what the DC of that would be. And what's the modifier? Well, let's take a look. We're using qtimes.com fillable PDF. Don't forget to download yours. If you want to try to fill up your character sheet at the same time as me, if you want to try to make that character and you don't know how to roll a character, then go to qtimes.com. Don't forget to download it. I don't download mine because I don't know how to record my screen of a PDF, so I'm just going to use the browser. It's important that you download first because if you fill it up and download after, you'll lose all the information and you'll have to do it again. So you download and then make a copy, save as right away, and name it maybe medicine specialist if you want. Just a bit of advice. So let's take a look. Medicine is wisdom, so that means that we need high wisdom. Okay, so I'm gonna make a wine nut coconut, a little star here to remember that we're aiming at high wisdom character. Medicine trained action: treat disease, treat poison, treat wounds. So notice there's no action. You spend 10 minutes treating one injured living creature, targeting yourself if you so choose. The target is then temporarily immune to treat wounds actions for 1 hour, but this interval overlaps with the time you spent treating. So a patient can be treated once per hour, once per 70 minutes. The medicine check is usually DC 15. If you succeed your check, you can continue treating the target to grant additional healing. Okay, so like sustain action. If you treat them for a total of 1 hour, double the hit points they regain from treat wounds. Very interesting. The result of your medicine check determines how many hit points the target regains. Critical success, 4d8, and its wounded condition is removed. Success, 2d8, wound is removed. Critical failure, the target takes 1d8 damage. So like, it's got a broken arm, and you just break it further. You don't really know what you're doing, right? Or it's bleeding, and you're like, oh, just, you know, 16th, 14th century medicine. Let's let the bad blood out, right? Good bleeding. So this is what's important, and this is what I noticed. Okay, so we're gonna keep a tab just to remember that this is important. I'm gonna jump to the feats because this time around I know tiny bit more what I want to do. Battle medicine. Okay, general healing manipulate skill. Battle medicine level 1. Trained in medicine, heal yourself or an ally in battle. 1 action. You can patch up yourself or an adjacent ally even in combat. Attempt a medicine check with the same DC as for treat wounds. And restore a corresponding amount of hit points. This does not remove the wounded condition. As with the treat wounds, you can attempt checks against higher DCs if you have the minimum proficiency rank. The target is then temporarily... That I don't understand, and as a DM I would rule it out until I further understand. The target is then temporarily immune to your battle medicine for 1 day. Ah, you can only do it once. So it cannot be the de facto healer depending how intense your game is, but that will help you in a pinch for sure. Notice is immune to battle medicine, so you can treat them again a bit later. And we're gonna take a look at wounded condition really quickly. You have been seriously injured. If you lose the dying condition and do not already have the wounded condition, you become wounded 1. If you already have the wounded condition, when you lose the dying condition, your wounded condition value increases by 1. If you gain the dying condition while wounded, increase your dying condition value by your wounded value. Okay, so if you reach 0 hit points, you don't go to dying 1. If you're already wounded, you go to dying 2. So you're closer to death's door when you die, when you're wounded. The wounded condition if someone successfully restores hit points to you with treat wounds. If you are restored to full hit points and rest for 10 minutes. Okay, so if you're restored to full hit points in battle and don't rest, you are still wounded. But you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna roleplay a bit. I'm actually gonna make a fighter. We're gonna make a fighter that has been in battle for a while. Like maybe he's a veteran from a battle campaign, and he's used to dressing wounds in combat, and he's got wisdom because I see him as a bit of a grayed out, you know, transforming into silver fox, salt and pepper, graying man that's in his like 50s maybe. So he's less of a fighter, more like a all around. His body is starting to slow down, but he's got tons of experience. So let's try a fighter. Yeah, we're gonna build a fighter just for fun. Okay, player name Saigon Geeks, class fighter. Fighting for honor, greed, loyalty, or simply the thrill of battle, you are undisputed master of weaponry and combat techniques. You combine your actions through clever combinations of opening moves, finishing strikes, and counterattacks whenever your foes are unwise. Haha! Enough to drop their guard. Feint is really good. Whether you are a knight, mercenary, sharpshooter, or blade master, you have honed your martial skills into an art form and perform devastating critical attacks on your enemies. At first level, your class gives you an ability boost to your choice of strength or dexterity. So maybe he was an old guard or soldier or something, and now he's a private guard, private trainer watching over a noble family. Maybe. So we're gonna go and we're gonna make him, we're gonna give him dexterity as his bonus. His body is starting to slow down for brute strength, but he's still agile. Level 1, and we're gonna give him the 10 hit points of the fighter. Role-playing the fighter, up to you. Initial proficiencies, yes. Expert in perception, which is nice because you use wisdom. So we have a bit of an overlap here. Expert in 2 things except will. Expert, and then wisdom is going to help. Skills trained in your choice of acrobatics or athletics, trained in a number of additional skills equal to 3 plus your intelligence modifier. So intelligent fighters can be fun. They were fun in D&D 3E. So what did I say? Acrobatics or athletics, we're going to give him acrobatics because we are building a dexterity fighter. And I like to write here 3 plus int and do it a bit later because some other, you can get skills in other ways, like from your background and stuff like that. Okay, attacks, expert in simple, expert, that's really cool. Oh shit, really good. You start with +4 proficiency, that means, plus whatever you use. In martial weapons, I said expert, so maybe he's gonna be a ranged attack. Trained in advanced weapons. Damn. That's the first time I take a look at the fighter. And expert and unarmed. Trained in all armor and unarmored. Trained. Okay. Very interesting. Trained in fighter class DC. I don't know if you're following me here. Class features. You gain these features as a fighter. Abilities gained at higher levels. List the levels at which you gain them next to the feature's name. I just rolled a D&D 5e character yesterday night for my D&D campaign, as I was saying, and already there's more stuff going on. More goodies for the Pathfinder fighter. So if you were to pit a Pathfinder fighter versus a D&D fighter level 1, besides the skills, the stats, attack of opportunity. Very important. Not like D&D and old Pathfinder where everybody just has attack of opportunity and it's a party. The fighter gets it. Ever watchful for weaknesses, you can quickly attack foes that leave an opening in their defenses. You gain the attack of opportunity reaction. Thought I saw free actions and reactions. Attack of opportunity. AOO. I think they call it AOP. Reaction. Ah, it's right here. Nice. A creature within your reach uses a manipulate action, so take a sword out or something, or a move action, move out of your threatened square, makes a ranged attack, or leaves a square during a move action it's using. So that's a lot of stuff. You lash out at a foe that leaves an opening. Make a melee strike against a triggering creature. If your attack is a critical hit, and the trigger was a manipulate action, you disrupt that action. So you stop it from unsheathing its sword, or pressing the button on a doomsday machine. This strike doesn't count toward your multiple attack penalty. Amazing. And your multiple attack penalty doesn't apply to this strike. Better and better. So you want it, either you want your fighter in the midst of battle, Or in this case, because he's not, I don't think he's going to be a pure beast. I don't know how we're going to build him. Maybe near the caster, the healer, to protect him. Fighter feats at first level and every even numbered level thereafter. You gain a fighter class feat. Bing, 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 bing. Okay, feats. More and more fun. What about Reactive Shield? An enemy hits you with a melee strike. You can snap your shield into place just as you would take a blow, avoiding the hit at the last second. You immediately use the raise the shield action and gain your shield's bonus to AC. The circumstance bonus from the shield applies to your AC when you're determining the outcome of the triggering attack. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take Reactive Shield. I want to make a guy that lasts long. That's not gonna go down fast. I'm not gonna give him a lot of constitution, so he needs everything he can get. Alright, let's try that. Right? We're not trying to make the best. We're trying to make an interesting guy that's fun to play. You gain the shield block general feat. A reaction that lets you reduce damage with your shield. What did I take? Reactive shield. Shield block. While you have your shield raised, you would take damage from a physical attack. You snap your shield in place to ward off a bro. Your shield prevents you from taking an amount of damage up to the shield's hardness. You and the shield each take any remaining damage, possibly breaking or destroying the shield. What's the difference? I think I can only take one reaction a turn. You can use one reaction per round. So I cannot do shield, reactive shield and then shield block, and we're getting the shield block for free. So we're gonna take another feat. Okay, we're back with fighter feats. We're not gonna take double slice because you want the weapon, the shield. Alright, so we're gonna go with the point blank shot. Okay, point blank shot. You take aim to pick off nearby enemies quickly when using a range volley weapon while you're in the stance. You don't take the penalty to your attacks. The volley trait. When using a ranged weapon that doesn't have the volley trait, you get a +2 circumstance bonus to damage rolls on attacks against targets within the weapon's first range increment. So that's good all around. Perfect. That's done. Finally. Okay, let's go. Keep moving. That's it for the level 1 fighter, right? Next, we're going to go backwards and we're going to choose the background. And we're going to keep with general backgrounds. Which one gives you battle medicine? Control F. Battle. Field medic. There you go. In the chaotic rush of battle, you learned to adapt to rapidly changing conditions as you administered to battle casualties. You patched up soldiers, guards, or other combatants, and learned a fair amount about the logistics of war. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be to Constitution or Tinkling Wisdom, and one is a free ability boost. You trained in a medicine skill and a warfare lore skill. You gained a battle medicine skill feat. Excellent. So, what's it called? Field medic. Perfect. So the feat, battle medicine, as we said, and skills trained in medicine and warfare lore. You might, okay, choose 2 ability boosts, Constitution or Wisdom. We're gonna take Wisdom. Oops. So we have a +2 here already, and +2 here. The other one must be a different. Are we gonna take Dexterity or Constitution? We're gonna go with Constitution. We need a lot of HP, right, for a fighter, right? Making like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of guy. Okay, that's the background. That was fast, much faster than the rogue. Now, ancestries. Yeah, let's go with a dwarf. An old dwarf fighter. Well, not that old. Dwarf for him. Okay, let's take a dwarf. Hit points 10. Oops. Size medium. Speed 20. bit slower. Ability boost, Constitution, Wisdom, and Free. Constitution, Wisdom, and Free. We're gonna give him Dexterity. And -2 to Charisma for dwarves. Languages, Common and Dwarven. Dark Vision. I like to put that in senses, because then it's easy to find. And you get a clan dagger. You get 1 clan dagger of your clan for free, as it was given to you at birth. Selling this dagger is a terrible taboo that earns you the disdain of other dwarves. Okay, selling it, so it's okay if you lose it. Clan dagger. Let's take a look at dwarf heritages, and then we're gonna choose the feat, and we're gonna be almost done. I kind of like the anvil dwarf, but crafting is intelligence, and we didn't put any points in intelligence. So like I said, I'm not a min-maxer, but I also want the best for that little guy. We're gonna take a strong-blooded dwarf, because he's always healing, so the blood of other people mixed with his and give him a strong constitution. You gain poison resistance equal to half your level, and each of your successful saving throws against a poison inflicting reduces its stage by 2 instead of 1. And your feat at first level, dear dwarf, Avenge and Glory. So you'd be a bad medic if that happens, but that's kind of cool to roleplay. You try to save it, he dies, you're like, yeah. Vengeful Hatred. This classic dwarf, right? Your heart aches for vengeance against those who have wronged your people. Choose one of the following dwarven ancestral foes. When you gain Vengeful Hatred: Drow, Duergar, Giant, or Orc. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to damage with weapons and unarmed attacks against creatures with that trait. If you attack would deal more than 1 weapon die of damage, the bonus is equal to the number. Okay. In addition, if a creature critically succeeds at an attack against you and deals damage to you, you gain your bonus to damage against a creature for 1 minute, regardless or whether it has a chosen trait. Okay. So if a creature critically hits you, you just hate it for 1 minute. I'm gonna go with Vengeful Hatred just because I don't know what to take, and that's just classic. Oh, there's in Warhammer. Oh, yeah. The Great Book of Grudges. That's something cool from Warhammer. If I play Total War and there's this unit that just has this giant book of grudges. Really cool. After the other steps, you apply 4 more ability boosts of your choice, then determine your ability modifiers based on those scores. Okay, so 4. We're gonna go with Dexterity. We're gonna go with Wisdom. Should we give him a bit of Strength? We're gonna go with Constitution. And we're gonna give him a bit of Intelligence. So if you want to do a crafter later, you can. Oh, I still have to pick. Perfect. So I'm getting 1 more language because of that small intelligence bonus, right? And now I have 4 skills to give him. So I'm gonna take 1 crafting, because what's a dwarf without crafting? How about survival? Stealth, let's give him society. Oh, and don't forget the constitution modifier +3, so he's gonna start at a nice 23 hit points. Okay, we did it, folks. That's it for today. Of course, you need to buy a few more things like arrows and stuff like that, but here we have a strong blooded dwarf, field medic fighter, maybe of few hundred years old. What could be his background? Well, he was fighting maybe against orcs, because that's his enemy, right? A long war against orcs, and his clan specialized in quick fixing up people, other dwarves, so that's where maybe he got the battle medicine. And maybe on his clan dagger there is his special sigil that represents a healing. And never forget that yes, there's fighting, but there's also healing. Morgrim Thickblood was not very good in the forge due to his frail strength, but he was very good at crafting and very dexterous, so maybe he can craft bows, right? Well, 23 hit points is not so bad, so I see him as standing in the back shooting with his bow when the enemies are starting to go towards you, he would take out his whip and shield and then maybe try to disarm them or trip them before they get too close to him, and finally finish them with a short sword while they are disarmed or on the ground. And he would stick near the casters but be maybe a meat shield before the specialized enemies can reach the casters in the back line. And of course, if his friends are going down in battle, he's gonna have to go in the midst of battle and start his battle medicine, which is the whole point. Maybe he picked up a job watching over a noble dwarf, or maybe he's got a human friend and he's watching over the family because he was friends with the grandfather or the great-great-grandfather and has been watching over that family for 1 or 2 generations now. Maybe that's how he met the other adventurers. He was the friend of the previous generation, and now he wants to look over the new generation and help them and follow them in battle and adventure. So we have a guy that can use a shield, use a bow, and heal a bit and help people stabilize. So that was our video for a fighter, different type of fighter that doesn't rush into battle, and he's got bad charisma. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you a bit of inspiration to try different. So if you want to participate in a toy giveaway, really easy, just be a subscriber and live in Vietnam. And when you're at the end of every month or every time we reach 100 subscribers, I draw a name from the subscribers in YouTube. You must have your contact info as public or else I can't see you. So for example, we have 94 subscribers. Thank you very much, everyone. But I can only see 44 of them. If you have some players that don't know what to roll, you're a DM, please go ahead and share this video. Maybe that's gonna help them a bit. Again, thank you very much for watching, guys, and have fun playing this great game of Pathfinder 2nd edition.